Hi, my name's Sue Ellam and I'm a professional tarot reader, and I have been for 25 years. I'm using the Mythic Tarot, which are based on Greek mythology.
And I'm Carrie Beleno. I'm an intuitive Reiki master teacher and spiritual life coach. And we are shifting it around a little bit. We have come up with lots of words, words that are pertinent to what's going on right now in the world, words that are that trigger like spirituality discussion. And I use that lightly. If you've been watching our videos, you know that spirituality to me just means being concerned with the human spirit. So that's all of us. So we're going to just see how the energy and the intuition runs around these words, and see what kind of questions are formed rather than me pre-forming the question. So we thought it would lead to more openness for the intuitive message.
Yeah, because we're thinking that there are one word, there's a lot of different questions that could be asked about this one word. So we're going to give that. And we're starting, and this is our 101th video. So we're doing something slightly different. Anyway, I, as usual, am completely clueless as to what Carrie's going to pull out the hat. So over to you.
On that note, the first word happens to be manipulation. No coincidence. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the intuitive energy around the word manipulation. We are all in the unity emotion of fear right now. And I just did a video on my Chaos to Calm playlist. You'll be able to see it there, around truth. And manipulation is part of the fear paradigm that we are all in. And the fear paradigm is all fine. It's okay. It's okay that we're in it right now. And I explain that in those videos as well. But manipulation is part of this fear paradigm. So there are a couple of timelines that are playing out right now. And each path, we just talked about this, Sue and I, each timeline, right, left, north, south, name it whatever you want to name it, has a belief that the others are manipulated, or the others are trying to manipulate, and that we have the truth on our particular timeline. So there's the conspiracy timeline, there's the right timeline, there's the left timeline, whether you want to call it the right timeline or the wrong timeline, I'm not sure, whatever you name it. And those on that timeline believe that the manipulation is happening by the others. So what I want to point out around the energy of manipulation is that everyone is going to think that. That is the energy of where we are right now. So give up the energy and the time that you are putting into uncovering the manipulation and uncovering or proving people wrong, or proving the truth, because everyone will have a different truth based on their emotional experiences. So there's no point in uncovering the manipulation or trying to figure out the manipulation, because it will always exist as long as we believe it exists. Where I want you to put your attention is on what your truths are, where your passions are, where your life purpose is, where your mission lies, where the people that resonate with you are, how you connect with them. Those are truths that cannot be manipulated. And those are what we have to hold dear and what we have to put our time and emotional energy into right now, and not in the manipulation theories of the other groups.
Yeah.
It's all yours.
Thank you. Energy around manipulation. Okay, right, we start off here with the Four of Pentacles. And this is literally about holding on for grim death to your beliefs, your opinions, and what you do is block your energy, you block finance, you block creativity, because your way is the only way, there's no other way. And this holds people in the past, it holds them, it causes stagnation. People just can't move on. It's like a parent telling a child that my way, it's like, my way is the only way. My father's way was good enough for me, and I'm passing that on to you. So it's not allowing for change. And it also causes rifts in friendships, it causes rifts within families when one person has decided that their way is the right way and there is no other way. And eventually, as I said, people start to drift away, and it just blocks energy. And it can create illness as well. It can create all sorts of kind of energy blocks. So this is where we're starting off with people holding their belief systems more important than everything else, because you can't see clearly when you've got your eyes focused on your truth, thinking it is the truth, because then the next step is fanaticism. You know, that anybody that doesn't believe your truth is a heretic in one way or another. It doesn't have to be about religion, but that's one of them. So it just means that there's no go with the flow. It's all go with my flow or else. So this is where we're talking about with manipulation, and it causes bad feeling. We have the Tower card, and the Tower card is things breaking down, leaving us, situations, friendships, different things, they just leave, because when we are so adamant that our truth is the only truth, it's the only way to go, people will not hang around, because there'll be a level of intensity about us which will increase over time, to the point that unless somebody believes exactly the way we believe, they will be repelled by us, because it will be this, you've got to believe my way, I'm trying to save you here. So it becomes like evangelical. As I said again, I'm not talking necessarily about religion, but it become a mantra. My way is the only, yeah, I love you, therefore you have to believe my way, because it's the only way you will be saved. It goes into that kind of thing. I mean, now it's the famous thing going on now is the pandemic. Some people believe that it doesn't exist, and anybody that wears masks or protects themselves are just idiots, and they are puppets of the government who are trying to control us. And other people that believe it does exist, they're really fearful because of all the people, partly, that don't believe it exists, who aren't taking any precautions, and they feel could be putting their lives in danger. So each side of it, and whether it exists or not, becomes irrelevant to the manipulation that the other party thinks the other people are going through. So, and there's this feeling, and what kind of goes into it is like, oh, well, you must be an idiot to believe that. So it's a diminishing of someone else. It can happen again with political parties. You know, if somebody is of another party, in some ways you diminish them. So it's become this kind of a real unpleasantness, because it's all been very, very hyped up this year especially. And it's again a bullying and a very much manipulation to get people to fall into line. And if they don't fall into line, then you diminish them in some way to say, oh, well, you can't be thinking straight to believe that. So this is a breakdown. It's a clearing out. So, and in a lot of ways, I don't feel personally the Tower is a particularly bad card, but in this kind of context, what it's doing is it's clearing out any balanced argument. It's clearing out everybody that doesn't believe exactly what you believe. So therefore, being so wedded to your own belief systems, and there are people that won't be manipulated into falling in line with you, therefore you diminish your own world. Your world becomes entirely about them and us. It's us and us, you know, especially if you're very focused on your belief systems are the truth and you're not open to any other belief systems, your world gets smaller and smaller. And that's why it's so important to listen to what other people are saying, because then new things can come in. But the longer we hold this view that we have the truth and other people don't, then we're asking for things just to fall away from us, and our worlds will become much smaller because of that. It's a very high price to pay, but because it can be close friends, family members that end up leaving us because they just can't, that they can't be dealing with us anymore. So it has really strong repercussions of this I'm right and you're wrong. It's very uncomfortable. But if you can open up your mind, realize that you don't have the whole truth, because none of us do, because we also are manipulated by the information we get. We don't know where it's coming from. You know, you can get somebody saying they are somebody they're not. You just don't know. You know, you've got, there's all these computers and information and the internet and stuff, and you can be reading stuff and you think that's the truth, but you don't know who's on the other end of that thing. You can't prove anything. You don't know who is manipulating you, because all of us are being manipulated by somebody. So that's why it's so important to tune in to what our intuition is telling us, to tune into our inner voice, because that's the only place that is our truth, and the spiritual, the universe, that will keep us on track. It's not a bad idea to know what other people are thinking, but it's very important to respect what they're thinking. And if they're open-minded, then they might be thinking something different next week, but that's not our business. What other people think is not our business. Our business is what we hold true to in this moment. That is our business. And here we have the Six of Wands, and it's about success. People patting us on the back and saying, well done, you've done well. And this is the result of being an anchor, because when we listen to what our intuition is telling us we are at peace. We've kind of come out of this maelstrom that's going on around us, all the fights, the protests, all this violence and all the arguments. Once we tune in to what our inner voice is telling us, and we cannot be manipulated by outside events, we then become the port in the storm. We then become the person that other people will come to when they need to rest, and it's not because they know we're not going to be forcing our ideas down their throats, but we can have a balanced conversation about something that might be bothering them. And this is where we will have success in having control of ourselves, and not being manipulated by outside forces. And it's not just the bullies that we're manipulated by. We can get manipulated by the soft-spoken, so say spiritual people as well, that want us to believe in a certain way. It's not all about the loudest people. You know, we have to be very careful. There's so many different forms of manipulation, but tuning in to ourselves, that is how we have success. And from that place, we have the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords is about us throwing everything up in the air to see where it lands, because we will want to make change. We will create our own chaos in a way, by showing people how to be as little manipulated as they can be, because we've got to be very careful about our energy levels as well, because we can tune in, and any medium will tell you that your own energy level is the level at what kind of level of spirit, what kind of level of energy we tap into, which is unseen. So we have to be very aware that we have to keep our energy as pure as we can, which means that we don't end up manipulating other people from a level of less than pure intent, because there are spiritual forces that are mischievous, that, you know, so by being as pure as we can be, not manipulating other people, not being fearful, knowing everything is going to be okay, that we are learning the same as everybody else is. By doing that, when we throw everything up in the air to see where it lands, it is just changing the energy. It's moving things around for the better. We're not just moving things around to make people jump. It's everything, because we have to change. And going back to the first card, being blocked energy, of holding on so tightly to what our belief systems are. However well tuned in we are, we also need to change. We need to reevaluate from time to time, because if we say, oh, this is the way, then we can quite easily get tied into our own belief systems, our own truths. So we need to rearrange the furniture ourselves, to change the energy around us, to make sure that that truth is still valid, because things keep moving on. So those are the cards about manipulation.
And if you need help tapping into your intuition, Sue and I are both open to one-on-one virtual assistance, appointments, sessions. And if these videos resonate with you, please like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Bye.
See ya.